Stuart, in the book Leia, you talked about working with the sound and lights, like it was at a point where you had taken on a lot, like a lot, and you knew you needed to, sounded like you were doing like little additional work to release that. Can you just talk about like that level of depth with working with the sound and light, how you did that or what you meant by that?
Uh, Look, the sound is very simple. It's working with the Om sound and opening and allowing the Om sound to come into your chakra system connects you with the fountainhead of all energy. It's the sound of all creative energy. And it has to force you to go to a more transcendental level of consciousness. And in that book and in that experience I went through, it I'm telling you, by the end of the day, I was like so tired. I was so drained. It was very, very difficult experience. And I knew that in order to survive it and do what I had to do in that situation, I had to go to a transcendental level of energy. I had to go to the source of energy, and sound, light, energy of that nature brings you to that fountainhead. It's not material, it's not emotional, it's not mental, it's a refinement of all of that, that manifests on a much higher plane of consciousness. And I knew, I'll never forget it, what I went through in order to, that child, they were told she had 3 weeks to live. And in order to do what I believe could be done, it required me to go so deep inside myself that it opened up literally that and brought me to the source of all creative energy that enabled me to do what I had to do without it literally killing me. It was so powerful, the experience. So, when I talk about that, that's basically what I'm talking about, is going to that place inside yourself, you know, and listening to the Om sound, letting the Om sound nurture each chakra, letting the Om sound come into you, and give you the connection with energy that is infinite in the universe, transforming all of the material things we see into light, into form, color, enables you again to connect with what's infinite in the universe. It's a higher plane of consciousness. And to do healing, certainly in the kind of depth that I was doing it with that young lady, I had no choice but to go to that level of consciousness. So basically, I mean, look, it was honestly an extraordinary experience. I grew so much in that month that all of that took place. I mean, it really broke down every conceivable barrier I had in myself simply because I needed the energy. And that child was very dear to me. I used to take her with me to ashrams and trips, and she used to stay in my house all the time. And, you know, she used to come to the meditation classes when she was 7 years old, this young girl. And then she disappeared. And 2, 3 years later, I get a phone call, and that's what took place, what you read in that book.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. Does anyone else? I mean, one thing you'll learn about me, I don't talk about things that I read in books. I mean, what I teach comes from living experience. It comes from what I've been through in my life, what I've learned in my life. the experiences of all kinds of situations I've had to deal with in my life. I've written a lot of books, but also in my books, I tell people books will never get you enlightened. They will open up possibilities and give you insights in what is really possible in life. But unless you do the work and unless you really go deep enough in yourself, to deal with the pressures and different situations of life and transform them into light, into Om, into form and color and higher planes of consciousness. You understand? That's how it works. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And I say it all the time, everything around us and everything in this world is a manifestation of spiritual energy, which makes everything in this world our teacher. It's our guru. Life is the guru, not Stuart, not Swami, this one, and Yogi, that one, and all that other stuff. And the job of any teacher, real teacher, is to train people so they build enough inner strength that they can sit before the real guru, and that's life. And life is an infinite quantity. The soul of a human being exists throughout all eternity. So it's from the smallest to the most major situations in the world, are really manifestations of higher energy. And they're just manifestations. They're not the thing in itself. But they teach us that in order to connect with the thing in itself, we have the capacity inside ourselves to do this. And we have to ultimately listen and learn from life what we have to do to connect with the energy that's infinite in the universe. And it doesn't do anybody any good just sitting around complaining about it, because frankly, it's all Maya, it's all illusion, but it's set up to be Maya and illusion by some higher force. Because it has to be a reminder that if you turn life, the Maya and the illusion, into God, you will have nothing but a life of pain and suffering. So it's to transform all of that illusion into an open and strong chakra system that connects us with what's infinite in the universe. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart?
I hope what I'm talking about is clear, because it's absolutely an essential element of what Rudy taught, what I teach. And I think it's so important to finally get it, to just get it, and to be able to allow life to be the guru, to allow oneself the realization that everything that exists in this universe is simply a manifestation of higher energy. And it's just a manifestation. In that manifestation, if you go deep enough inside yourself, you can find the connection with God. And if you do that, then you're truly learning how to have a spiritual life. You're using, this whole energy of life to teach you this. Does anyone have a question? Anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart, I have a question.
Yes.
I've started to have almost an experience of like, I don't know, like another body in my body, like one of those Russian doll kind of things. I'm wondering if this is similar to the inner system that you talk about a lot.
Yes. 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 There's an inner body that, well, body is a word, I mean, what I call it is a chakra system. And it's located in different parts of your body. And it's like having an internal body, but it's an esoteric body. It's an ethereal, it's connected to spirit. And when you feel that kind of thing inside yourself, you're connecting with the chakra system. It means the energy is really working and, opening you inside. But don't get caught up thinking about it. Just let it go deeper. Let it go deeper. Because chakras are like infinite. There's no limitation in them. You go from the heart and the love can extend endlessly into the universe. There's no limitation. The same thing with the chakra below the navel. The foundation extends infinitely. Mind, knowledge extends infinitely. And it's a subtle body. In fact, they even call it a subtle body, the chakra system that exists inside each and every one of us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay. There'll be class tomorrow evening. I hope people attend. It'd be nice. People do come to every class, and I'm very grateful for that. And God bless you all. Thank you. I mean, I never expected in all my life to be doing this, these classes on Zoom, and yet they've been so instrumental in touching such deep and rewarding areas inside myself that I'm just very grateful. I'm very, very grateful. And I think these classes just keep getting deeper and stronger. I can't remember ever teaching on this level years ago, And it has to do with all of you being here, opening, receiving this, allowing this higher energy to come and to flow into these classes. So God bless you all and thank you. And there'll be a class tomorrow evening.
Thank you, Stuart. God bless you.
Thank you.
Stuart.
Thank you.
Good night.